Hi, I'm Dr. Margo Bergman, and I wanted to talk a little bit about community engagement. I first wanted to thank everybody for giving me the Community Engagement Award in Institutional and Systems Analysis. I know that's a lot of words, but basically it means I use data to help people, and I wanted to give you a little background on that. So they gave us a few prompt questions, and I'm going to talk a little bit about that, but I also wanted to kind of go over some of the projects that I did to help me get here. So what is community engagement? Well, for me, it means listening and helping. So a lot of these community partners that you see here before me, they came to me with some questions and they didn't really know what they were trying to ask. So we spent a lot of time delving down deep into what exactly they were trying to solve, asking probing inquiries, listening a lot, creating a true partnership so that we could build an analysis of their problems, or in a lot of cases, I could build an analysis of their problems that could truly answer the question that they didn't always realize they were asking, but that something that could help solve whatever it was, whatever difficulty they were having in their city or in their company, that they came to us for help rather than just providing them more information that they didn't know what to do with, since they already had data that they didn't know what to do with. So community engagement to me means not making a bigger problem than they already had, working with these people to help them understand, and then that they can then help the people that they are supporting, that are our community, the people that come to the University of Washington, Tacoma, the students, the faculty, the staff, the friends and family of the community people, students and staff. So my projects tend to focus, as you can probably tell from the title of the award, on analysis methods rather than specific topics. I like to think about how to solve a problem more than what the problem is. I have a personal interest in helping communities solve problems of public health, regain data sovereignty, and think about how those issues affect the larger communities. So this work with the city of Puyallup, the original work that I did there was on COVID-19 and its recovery from that with relations to public health. So that was one of the things that I did kind of all on my own. I went out and sought funding for that and sought partnership for that. But it was based on working with some partners from some of the previous work that we had done. So I like the problem just as much as what the problem is about. So I like to help people understand their data. I like solving interesting problems. And so if someone comes to me with an interesting problem, I'll help them, even if it isn't necessarily something that I'm particularly interested in personally, all the time. But I do have my favorites, of course. So all of these projects allowed the partners to use those data, either use the results either immediately in terms of an algorithm like the one we created for the state courts, or a prediction, or to support future funding requests or community or political support for the organizations. So that's some of the things that we were helping garner for these different groups. They had immediate questions, but they also had long-term goals that they were looking to support with what the answers that we gave them. And in most cases, we were able to support those long-term goals, at least as far as the long-term has been. For ours part, I was able to work on real projects very close to home, supporting both the mission of the University of Washington Tacoma and my personal interest in supporting the community in which I am in. I gave the students that worked on several of these projects with me the opportunity to do the same. And then I learned new things on each of these projects that allowed me to support the data analysis that needed to be done. So if you're interested in learning more about the community engaged work at the University of Washington, I strongly support checking out any of these last 3 websites. The Livable City Year website, they work with communities all the time. They have people, well, mostly cities actually, coming in to offer questions, interesting questions. And if you can work that into your classroom, as I've done this year, that's one great place to get engaged in a fairly low stress way with community engaged work. The Office of Community Partnerships at the University of Washington Tacoma is another great place to get involved. We at the Center of Business Analytics do a lot of work with the community engaged partners. So we're always happy to either help or to accept your expertise on a particular project if you could provide it. And then if you're more interested in the work that I'm doing, my website is sites.uw.edu/MWB4. That's also my email here at UW. And I'd be happy to talk to you more about all my projects and what I do at any time. So thank you once again. And there's Tacoma in the background, and I'm glad to be part of this wonderful community.